I think from the moment training camp starts, it's weird. As of today, with the Kumbaya story, you could come out, if you're Joe Tsai, if you're Kevin Durant, you could say, that story that came out about that meeting with us, look, there's only 2 people in that meeting. So we don't know where that came from. But that's bogus. That never happened. Was I upset? Did I voice my concerns? Indeed, I did. But I didn't ask for anybody to get fired. And Joe Tsai says, he didn't, I don't know where that came from, but we need to address that now. He didn't ask for anybody. But instead, Joe Tsai validated that story when he tweeted, I'm standing by my guys. There's absolutely no reason to send that message out unless that story was true. And so when that story, that's where they really screwed this whole thing up. Because I would argue, Kevin, they wanted clearly a king's ransom for Durant. Totally understandable. You weren't getting a king's ransom for Durant after that. You weren't. That story coming out, and then the owner saying, I'm standing by my guys, because yes, it makes him seem available, but if you are who trades for players, Kev? Other GMs. And if you're another GM and you're sitting there going, hold on now. This guy has a private meeting with our owner, and his request was to get me and the coach fired. Like, I already fired a coach for him, and he didn't just say I need a different coach. He said he needed both different. He's in charge at that point. He's in charge. And so when Joe Tsai comes out, I mean, I think that the price went down for Durant, and then it became a realization, bro, there's no, it was probably a light market anyway for what they were wanting. There was no market for what they were wanting or what his value would be after that thing. I really think that changed everything. That story of him saying he wanted those guys fired, because we've had a million trade requests over the years. We have not had a million we've had coaches run out. But I don't remember one where a guy met with an owner and it was so out there that he said, fire everybody. That's crazy.
So the one thing we haven't learned yet, and I wonder if this detail will come out, why was there the lack of trust in Steve Nash and Sean Marks? And at the time of that story, I texted a few sources about it, like, hey, what's the deal here? And it was framed to me like this is just him trying to rattle, his way out, just trying to shake things up. It's not like there was any actual one specific reason. It's just another tactic of trying to get out and break free and get out of the nets. And so for KD, now in this situation, for the last couple of weeks while we've been off, there's been many reports saying how even if they were to trade Kevin Durant, they want to keep Kyrie Irving, because Woj had reported the Lakers are willing to give up both the 27 and the 29 and their first-round picks in the distant future to get Kyrie Irving. But the Nets are saying they're going to keep him. And now it looks like there will be no Kyrie trade at all because they are keeping Kevin Durant. So for Brooklyn now, what they get is time. They get time with Kevin Durant to try to fix whatever needed to be fixed, to try to show, as you said, with all these additions, Royce O'Neal, TJ Warren, Ben Simmons coming back, hopefully staying healthy, that this is indeed the place where he can win if there's a full trust in the front office and the coaching staff to try to make it work.
They can't win.
You don't think the Nets can win here and try to get KD back? So you're saying, or at least you're suggesting, if they can't win, we could be back here again late January, February, or next summer with Kevin Durant wanting out of Brooklyn. You think that could be the case? I'm saying compete for championships. I just don't think. You don't think the Nets have enough?
I think from the moment training camp starts, it's weird. And Kevin, you are asking me to count on Kyrie Irving and Ben Simmons.
No, I'm not asking you to count on them. I'm saying the Nets get time with Kevin Durant. The Nets get time to try to prove that they can get it right. Whether that means flipping Ben Simmons in December for something else, whether that means Ben Simmons playing the best basketball of his entire life, whatever it is, they get time for these potential positive outcomes that are better than it would have been to trade Kevin Durant for 7 first-round draft picks to New Orleans, or to trade him for Jaylen Brown and Grant Williams and a couple of picks to Boston. Like, all of the potential paths in keeping Kevin Durant include, we could be in the running for a championship, which aren't included if they were to move him. You know what I mean? It's like
totally
still
fair.
Open to them.
I just don't see how you go into training camp. I mean, I guess you can all walk out of the meeting and be like, hey, yeah, okay, so I did tell him to fire you guys, but let's just act like that didn't happen.
Well, I mean, sometimes breakups almost happen, and then people get back together, and sometimes they get married and live a happy life. And sometimes they have more breakups, and it's never happy.
Okay, and here's what I'll say.
I'm sure we've all seen those.
He is, you know how it ended in Golden State with the level of discontent that went on there, right? There were all those stories about how that was like kind of a joyless enterprise, and he was separating himself from the team, and they weren't talking, and Draymond got suspended for their tiff and all that kind of stuff, and he felt some kind of way about the way he was treated compared to the other guys. And now, last year, you have another reporter saying it's a joyless enterprise. Like, there is, like, Kevin does get unhappy